Why hello there. So today's review is on something I am genuinely shocked hashtag has not done yet. A Nemesis Prime repaint of the Studio Series Baiwei's Optimus mode. Seriously, they did it for SS38 that, what I've seen, easily goes for 100 plus SGD second hand. A missed opportunity that's been rectified by a Chinese knockoff company called Baiwei. And here he is in all of its glory. Due to copyright reasons, this is called TW-1022B Star Leader. Side note, every third party and KO company always calls their version of Optimus something related to leader or commander. It makes sense, but can't we have one called Peter for obvious reasons? Anyway, this is the second version of Baiwei's SS Optimus V3. V1 I believe was SS05 and V2, well, let's just say that variant had consistent failures. V3 fixes V2's problems, and it's that version which all of the company's Optimus repaints are thankfully derived from. If you want to know how to spot the difference between V2 and V3, well, it's easy. V2, the neck area, is made out of clear plastic, and that should tell you everything. Anyways, this thing is magnificent. I've always been a fan of the Nemesis color scheme, and this fulfills my wishes. Blood red chest windows, black and dark grey everywhere, with a sprinkle of purple here and there. But it's not just new colors. Baiwei has also modified the SS32/44 mode, namely the smokestacks for truck mode. They have now increased its height. The rear fenders right over here can actually fold down just like the SS05 version, as you can see. Very nice. And die-cast metal for feet. Ooh. This is interesting. Of course, it being a knockoff, quality control can be iffy. So my copy has some plastic bits sticking out at the midriff area. You can sort of see it, and it is a tad annoying. But it doesn't impede transformation or movement. But I will send them down at some point as they bug me. But since we're here, this midriff area has been painted silver. Nice. Paint in general is applied well, especially his head. Just look at that head. It's got bloodshot eyes contrasting nicely with the silver face, which you can swap out for an unmasked version, as you can see here. A feature, if I remember correctly, the original never could. And the silver paint really highlights the mechanical detailing done for his face. And to attach it, simply do a reverse fallen, rip his head up, rip his face off, and just plug in the new one. And there you go. Look at that. It is very nice, but I do prefer the masked version. Other accessories include 2 sets of swords, 2 regular, and 2 arm mounted. Both look really good. Although plugging them in, they do feel a bit tight, but it's not that bad. Anyways, here you go. This is how the arm mounted one looks like. Really nice. And just for visuals, here's the handheld version. Looks quite good as well. Now there is one last accessory that comes with this, and it's the chest piece. Really interestingly enough, all you need to do is just rip this one out, which is difficult to do on camera. There you go. Revealing more paint for the chest piece that turns him into the 07 and Revenge of the Fallen version that has been split apart. Now this isn't due to some manufacturing problems. This was done on purpose. I don't know why, but hey, if it works, it works. Just plug them in like so. It isn't too difficult, unless you're like me and just essentially flip it. There we go. And yay, you got the 07 version, or Revenge of the Fallen, depends on what you want. This guy is also satisfying to pose. All the joints aren't too loose or too tight, except for the left wrist, which is very loose compared to everything else, but the range of movement is just sublime. In theory, of course. In practice, the thighs, when you swing it this way, is alright, but it looks a bit awkward. But anyway, trying it this way, sometimes the wheels can get caught on this bit right over here. It does get a bit annoying sometimes. And the waist swivel is hampered by wheels and grills. Legs can't do much because of the wheels, but it's enough that you can get some really good dynamic poses. Got bits of ankle pivot as well. But those are my only complaints articulation wise, as everything else is perfect. Lots of arms with elbows, wrists, which on this one is too loose. It's all quite good, but that credit has to go to the original designers. And with that, let's transform and roll out. That transformation, while complex, isn't difficult to remember, and the upper body conversion really intrigues me. The only reason why I took longer than I normally would is because I'm doing it on camera and I am still not used to transforming stuff on camera. Yep. Anyways, the upper body is apparently based on the first edition Prime, with the legs coming from evasion mode Prime. The latter is the reason we have obvious feet sticking out. It's not as bad as SS102, like it's at least sort of flat, but it is still there. Side note, I recommend sliding the tabs for the feet together instead of pushing. Instead of trying to force it together, you just sort of slide them. Now the reason to do that is because die-cast metal makes that task challenging. Some minor complaints I have are the red paint sort of spilling onto the windshield frame, and some extra bits of plastic on the grille, causing it to not sit together. They are quite minor. And other than those two, this thing is amazing. More silver paint reveals itself, complementing the purple flames, which are really well done. But black and red is the thing that sells the evil motif. It's great. I love this thing. It's awesome. Now you got these tabs right over here which you can plug in some of the weapons. Just use this as an example. Just there's a tab there and hole, just plug it in. Yay! Who cares? Yeah. Now for those curious as to how much this was bought for only 20 plus SGD. Granted, there were quite a few vouchers needed for Shopee, but still, it's a deal that feels too good to be true. But take into account that quality on every copy can differ, and while trying to plug these swords in, I got poked a couple of times due to for some reason this part being a bit sharper than what I would like. There's also bits of plastic still sticking around. Yeah, it is still good for what you're paying for, but it is still a trade-off. From what I've watched, quality does seem to be consistent, but I would still be careful. As for procurement, you can use Shouzi, but sites that sell products from China like AliExpress or the aforementioned Shopee can suffice. Although with the latter, you might need a few vouchers. With that, I'll end the video here. Thanks for watching, see you next time.